Hey cubbies, it's Miss Rachel. I wanted to read you guys a little bedtime Bible story tonight since we're still not able to be together. I thought it would be fun if maybe every day I could read you a little story or a passage. So tonight we're going to read a story from the book of Exodus, chapter 16. The Lord gives Israel food every day. And the reason that I think that this is important for us to hear right now is because we need to trust in the Lord to provide. We need to not take more than we need. And we need to just rest and know that God is in charge of all of the things that are going on in the world that we don't quite understand. God has a plan for that. And God has always had a plan for that. The Lord gives Israel food every day. The whole community of Israel started out from Elim. They came to the desert of Sin. It was between Elim and Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month after they had come out of Egypt. In the desert, the whole community told Moses and Aaron they weren't happy with them. The Israelites said to them, "We wish the Lord had put us to death in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat. We ate all of the food we wanted, but you have brought us out into this desert. You must want the entire community to die of hunger." Then the Lord spoke to Moses, and he said, "I will rain down bread from heaven for you. The people must go out each day, have them gather enough bread for just that day, and here is how I will put them to the test. I will see if they follow my directions. On the 6th day, they must prepare what they bring in. On that day, they must gather twice as much as on the other days." So Moses and Aaron spoke to all of the people in Israel. They said, "In the evening you will know that the Lord brought you out of Egypt, and in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord. He has heard you say you aren't happy with him. Who are we? Why are you telling us that you aren't happy with us?" Moses also said that you will know that the Lord has heard you speak against him. He will give you meat to eat in the evening. He will give you all the bread you want in the morning. But who are we? You aren't speaking against us. You are speaking against the Lord. Then Moses told Aaron, "Talk to the whole community of Israel. Say to them, 'Come to the Lord. He has heard you speak against him.'" While Aaron was talking to the whole community of Israel, they looked towards the desert. There was the glory of the Lord appearing in the cloud. The Lord said to Moses, "I have heard the people of Israel talking about how unhappy they are. Tell them, when the sun goes down, you will eat meat. And in the morning you will be filled with bread. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God." And that evening quail came and covered the camp. And in the morning the ground around the camp was covered with dew. And when the dew was gone, thin flakes appeared on the desert floor. They looked like frost on the ground. The people of Israel saw the flakes. They asked each other, "What is that?" They didn't know what it was. Moses said to them, "It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat. Here is what the Lord has commanded. He has said, each one of you should gather as much as you need. Take 2 quarts for each person who lives in your tent." The people of Israel did as they were told. Some gathered a lot, and some gathered a little. And when they measured it out, those who gathered a lot didn't have too much, and those who gathered a little had enough. And all of them gathered only what they needed. Then Moses said to them, "Do not keep any of it until morning." Some of the people didn't pay attention to Moses. They kept it until the morning. But it was so full of maggots, which are like little worms, and it began to stink. So Moses became angry with them. Each morning, all of them gathered as much as they needed. But by the hottest time of the day, the thin flakes had melted away. On the 6th day, the people gathered twice as much. It amounted to 4 quarts for each person. The leaders of the community came and reported that to Moses. He said to them, "Here is what the Lord has commanded." He said, "Tomorrow will be a day of rest. It will be a holy Sabbath day. It will be set apart for the Lord. So bake what you want to bake, boil what you want to boil, save what is left, keep it until morning." So they saved it until morning, just as Moses had commanded. It didn't stink or get maggots in it. Eat it today, Moses said. Today is the Sabbath day in the Lord's honor, and you will not find any flakes on the ground today. Gather them for 6 days, but on the 7th day there won't be any. It's the Sabbath. In spite of what Moses said, some of the people went out on the 7th day to gather the flakes, but they didn't find any. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "How long will all of you refuse to obey my commands and my teachings? Keep in mind that I have given you the Sabbath day. That is why on the 6th day I gave you bread for 2 days. All of you must stay where you are on the 7th day, and no one can go out." So the people rested on the 7th day. The people of Israel called the bread manna, and it was white like coriander seeds. It tasted like wafers that were made with honey. Moses said, "Here is what the Lord has commanded." He has said, "Get 2 quarts of manna. Keep it for all the time to come, and those who live after you will see the bread that I gave to you to eat in the desert. I gave it to you when I brought you out of Egypt." So Moses said to Aaron, "Get a jar, put 2 quarts of manna in it, and place it in front of the Lord. Keep it there for all time to come." Aaron did exactly as the Lord commanded of Moses. He put the manna in front of the tablets of the covenant. He put it there so that it would be kept for all time to come. The people of Israel ate manna for 40 years. They ate until they came to a land that was settled. They ate it until they reached the border of Canaan. The jar had an omer of manna on it, and the omer was 2 quarts. So, cubbies, why I think that lesson is important is maybe some of you have been to the store lately and you've noticed that people are gathering a lot of supplies and probably more than they need. And I think that there are people probably that are going without the things that they need because some people are just buying too much. They're buying more than they need. And so I'd like to remind you that God always promises to provide us with what we need and that He has a plan, and just to trust in Him. Now I'm going to do a couple Bible verses and say a prayer. So this one's on health. So healthy, not being sick, not having a tummy ache. 1 John 2:17. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. Proverbs 3:7-8. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Have respect for the Lord and avoid evil. That will bring health to your body, and it will make your bones strong. Psalm 119, verse 93. I will never forget your commandments, for by them you give me life. Proverbs 17:22. A happy heart is like good medicine, but a broken spirit drains your strength. Dear God, people get sick every day, and their bodies and their hearts can get sick, their lungs can get sick, but you are a healer, and I pray that you will always continue to keep my family and myself and my friends. Just keep us safe, Lord, and let us know that you are with us and that you are sheltering us in your veil of protection. And even though we don't understand right now what you're doing, let us trust you and let us have peace in that. And we ask that very soon we'd be able to all be together again and to worship together and to play together as friends and church family. We just have to trust in God. Good night, cubbies. Amen.